All right, man. Let's get into Chris Brown. I think one of y'all said it earlier. So the game was very upset about Chris Brown's performance being taken away. I actually saw they posted a video of what the show was going to look like, and it looked fire.
Yeah, Sierra was. Yeah, I saw the performance.
40th year for Thriller. But the game posted on IG when they pulled Chris Brown officials' performance for the AMAs. All hip hop and R&B artists should have declined too.
No,
but we'll never be that unified, and that's why they keep and will always use us, suck the culture dry, disrespect us in our faces and behind our backs. So Terry, you sound like you already off of that. To that, you say what?
Because that's actually the first I heard of Game mentioning it. I would rather hear what 𝗀𝗲 has to say about the situation.
Wow,
I'm just playing, but
wow.
I need to hear what
I mean, I'm cool on. I think this is an AMA thing, and it's whoever's the head and worried about what somebody says. My whole thing with Chris Brown is, when does he get his grace to go ahead and move forward with his career?
You know, he won an award, and they still took.
Yeah, and Kelly Rowland had to take up for him because they were booing him in the crowd. I mean, he absolutely made a mistake when he was 17, 18 years old, right?
Big mistake.
Big mistake. By this time, though, he's still making music, and I think he's proven himself as a man. Personally, I think, because there was a couple of people that tried to set him up and get him involved in some BS, and that turned out not to be what was up.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
With that.
So
I agree with that.
My whole thing with his situation is, unfortunately, he could have been that entertainer that could have held a candlestick to Michael Jackson.
Oh, he's
and he kind of fumbled that bag.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take anything away from him, and I feel like they're doing him kind of dirty, honestly. Especially at this point in his career. This is way far advanced from what happened back in, what year was that? 05, 06?
Or 6, 7.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. He was a kid.
Let me ask you this. I agree with what you said, first of all, because I mean, Chris Brown is what, mid-30s now? Early 30s?
Early 30s, yeah.
And I think the brother he's understands the magnitude of what he did, understands it was wrong, and you know, at this point it's like, come on, man. This was a dope tribute, 40 years of Thriller, like everything's perfect, and he's the only person equipped to really do this.
Yeah, and my whole thing is, you have to have that same energy for other artists as well.
That's fair.
Because if anybody else showed up on that stage that didn't look like Chris Brown,
right,
they're gonna let them perform and do what they need to do,
right,
to honor whatever artist that's being honored. And I know it's been done before. I just can't think of any names right offhand that were in some trouble, and they're still granted that opportunity to perform.
Let me ask you this though, piggybacking off, you know, the part about him not being able to perform. What do you think about what the game said? Is there truth to the strength in numbers concept if people were to, you know, quote unquote boycott? We've been through boycott the Grammys.
True.
We've been through.
Yeah, that's true.
But do you think there's some validity to that? Because I actually like what he's saying in terms of, you know, sometimes artists, they don't band together like they should in certain instances. I think there's something there to that. What do you think about that?
I mean, there is some validity there, but I don't think other artists are going to band together and, I wouldn't say assassinate their career.
Okay.
Because you don't need the AMAs to succeed, just like you don't need a Grammy.
I like that.
I didn't know the AMAs were even on until because I remember, and the thing is, I'm not trying to dismiss the AMAs. I remember when that was a thing because it used to come on like Tuesday or Wednesday night. I remember
all of these award shows we used to watch as kids.
You know, and I'm thinking, at this point, doesn't anybody who worked for Dick Clark Productions or whoever puts this on now, or ABC, understand that you don't put on anything during when they're playing football? Like, it's Sunday Night Football, dog. You're not going to win that rating spot.
Even I don't care who you are.
Even if you're trying to do counter programming.
Yeah.
But as far as Chris Brown is concerned, this is the thing with me, and I've said this when it concerns anybody. I don't want anyone's entire life to be defined by their worst moment.
Say it.
No, you know what? Once said, everyone in this room, and probably everyone listening will acknowledge what he did was wrong. But at the same time, how are we just going to define him by that moment for the rest of his life? I remember when he came here, And there were people who were quote unquote trying to be righteous and say, I can't believe so many people are going to see Chris Brown at the Pacer Stadium. Like I said, I never remember the name.
Pacer Stadium.
But I was thinking, like, first of all, like, what has he done something recently? And they were trying to, has he done something since then to where he should be canceled, to where we should not support him if he makes good music that we enjoy?
Not to my knowledge.
And they bring up stuff, and I was, and there was somebody, and I don't like to go back and forth with people on any social media. I was like, they found out that woman was lying, because like what he did and what has happened since the Rihanna thing, it's made him an easy target. Yeah, so now when he is falsely accused of things, people just automatically believe it because of, and then people, it's like a lie travels around the world, 4 or 5 times before the truth gets its shoes on. So there are people who are still looking down on Chris Brown because of lies that they heard and never heard the part where you come to find out the woman was lying, or like there was, like I said, he was a young man, and it's look, like dude,
Terry said, 17.
He got a Lamborghini before his frontal lobe had completely formed. That's not an excuse for what he did, but at the same time, I'm like, look, it wasn't that long after where Rihanna was going to the basketball games with him. She forgave him, but y'all can't.
They got back together for a hot second.
Yeah,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And I'm not saying that
after the Oprah interview,
that doesn't excuse what he did.
Right.
I mean, it's not about absolving him from what he did. That's not.
But it's like but my whole thing is like, okay, is it now that he's done it? Are y'all gonna hold that against? Because if you're gonna do that, there's a whole bunch of folks.
I'm saying Hollywood is riddled with people that have done way worse crimes.
That you could.
I mean, we just got through talking about the whole Balenciaga ordeal,
right?
So imagine how many people in Hollywood,
right,
or in the music business that are into that sick stuff.
Like
and that were probably sitting in the crowd booing Chris Brown.
I want people to have the same grace for Chris Brown that they have for Robert Downey Jr.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's tough.
Because don't get me wrong, Robert Downey Jr., like if you know his story before, I remember when they announced him as Iron Man, I was like, oh, that's perfect because I know the comics, and there was one point where Iron Man had a substance abuse problem.
Bruh.
Let's talk
I
about,
was like, that was incredible.
But if you fast forward all the way up until Endgame, we don't even remember.
He went from somebody that was literally, on dope and falling asleep in people's houses after he broke into them
to Iron Man,
to being the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Come on,
bro,
man.
you can't.
Charlie Sheen was out here with
doing
HIV,
things.
having sex with random women, whatever. He got a condom deal off of that, and I guarantee you they ain't dismissing him from no show.
No,
you know what I'm saying. So
the Robert Downey Jr. one, that's a good
no,
one.
I mean,
of how
I
big
wish,
Marvel is.
I just,
like he's integral to Marvel.
People would have had the same, and we'll take it away from Chris Brown. The same grace we gave Robert Downey Jr. And I'm not here to down him because I'm glad he was able to turn it around.
He got it right,
and be able to live
right.
a productive and let his talent shine through. It's like I wish we would have had that same energy for DMX. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because everybody was just waiting on DMX to mess up again.
Because like Robert Downey Jr. was this close to being a cautionary tale, like how Hollywood just sucks people up and spits them out and all. Because at one point, Robert Downey Jr. went from being a movie star to doing guest shots on Ally McBeal, and then he was messing up after that.
Yeah. Bro, people was laughing at DMX when he was going through trials and tribulations and some of the things he was suffering.
But they were laughing. They were laughing at Robert Downey Jr. too, but at the same time, when it was time to give him an opportunity, because you got to understand, he wasn't even the biggest. When Iron Man came out, this is what a lot of people don't realize or remember. He wasn't the biggest star in that movie. The biggest star in that movie was Terrence Howard. He had just come off of 2 Oscar nominations.
True.
He messed up his bag.
And no, but that was when they didn't look out for him.
But the Robert Downey Jr. to y'all point about how fast we forget, if we'll say, the first Iron Man to who he is coming off Endgame. Come on, man! You talking about he's beyond.
Go look at the
IMDb.
Like Robert Downey Jr. hadn't been in a successful movie in well over a decade.
Yeah.
Okay, his
Since
career,
like the late
his career
80s.
was over.
I ain't gonna hold you though. I'm not gonna hold you. I like the Sherlock Holmes movies.
I mean, I like a lot of his movies. I like the
I
one,
like those.
the Due Date with Zach Galifianakis. That movie's
who?
hilarious.
Yeah. I remember
The
that.
dude from what's that?
Hangover.
movie? Hangover.
Oh, okay.
The one that had the baby strapped to him.
I got you.
A movie called Due Date or whatever. That's a funny movie.
But
I don't dislike him, just like I don't dislike Chris Brown.
I see where you going.
like I said, I just want people, for everyone. It just bothers me that we are still old. Like I said, he did his community service. He said, "I'm sorry" to his fans and the public. He said he clearly apologized to Rihanna because, like I said, they dated some more after that. And if you are holding on to this, if Rihanna could get past this and you can't, that's not about Chris Brown. That's about you.
100%.
Because I look, dude. How many women did he beat before Rihanna? And how many women has he beat since?
What you said.
And his
situation, unfortunately, was learned behavior from him seeing his mama get upside her head.
So I'm saying,
that's bad in
yo,
itself.
trauma begets more trauma. Let that man live.
Yeah. Say that.
And y'all need to, if you just hate Chris Brown because you hate Chris Brown, then say that.
And see, and this is where it gets cloudy because you'll have people that will say, why don't y'all say this about this person or that person? I'm like, first of all the people that we are talking about made mistakes, tried to rectify the situation, shown remorse, and haven't really gone down that path since. Now, you got people that do stupid stuff back in the day. They'll consistently do stupid stuff here and there and continue to do stupid stuff. Those are two different types of people. Like the people that actually have remorse and quote unquote, to use my phrase, stay out the way, they've earned that. But there are some people that they just can't help themselves.
And if you're looking to cancel every artist, creative who has not done right by women at one point in their life, there's a whole line of people behind Chris Brown.
We had a whole president.
What type of president?
A whole president that everybody loved and are hoping that he gets back in the office.
Hey, they love his honesty.
That did some foul stuff.
Wrote a check about it.
Just saying. He was going to court during his presidency.
What Chappelle say? He said, I came outside and told y'all I'm using the system in this rig, and went right back into the house and started playing the game again.
Yeah.
That's facts.
So I don't know. Look, shout out Chris Brown. Usually I don't care. Whenever the game says something, I'll be like, yeah, whatever, man. But, if all of the hip hop and R&B artists pulled out, it would have said something. But because once again, we got to realize not only our power, but the lack of power that some of these platforms have. The American Music Awards is not what it was.
None of these
in 1987,
are, unfortunately.
And plus,
agree.
Plus, everybody knows the American Music Awards. Like, that's not. I tell people because I remember Kanye West. I hate to go back down.
Here we go.
Well, at one point, he was acting up when he didn't win an American Music Award. It was like, and Alicia Keys literally had to pull inside. It's not about artistic merit. It is about airplay and sales. That's how they tabulate who wins an American Music Award. Same thing with the Billboard Award. I don't know why everybody when you get nominated for a Billboard Award, you're gonna lose if you're in the same category as Taylor Swift.
That's why 50 Cent used to always talk crazy. He's because he was like, man, I'm the guy at the Billboard Award.
Hey,
yeah,
ain't no different than a Nickelodeon Award at the end of the day.
Yeah. So and
50 was. He had every right to be like, yeah, I'm really that guy because he was number one for real.
No, because if you look back on it, how do you not give 50 Cent for all those records he sold? How do you not give him Best New Artist? That year he was up for.
Who got it that year?
It's probably somebody that's not doing anything right now, and I'm saying that without research.
Nah, but whoever that was didn't deserve it over him. I don't care who.
I'm sorry, nobody deserved Best New Artist over 50 Cent.
Nah, they did.
Shout out to Macalades who's in the chat who says nobody would be famous anymore because they all got skeletons in their closet. People just pick and choose. You right?
No, because people,
Lone said that Buddy should have got a condom deal, rightfully so.
He
didn't use them.
Yeah, he didn't.
Charlie Sheen, we're talking about. He didn't use them at all.
You got to use the product, brother.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all fine and dandy. I just think it's weird how
certain
people get
Chris Brown is still a punching bag all these years later.